Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Insight. I'm here at the Biotech Showcase meeting that's being hosted in San Francisco. It runs alongside the JP Morgan meeting, where all the great and good, the movers and shakers of pharma, medtech, biotech, get together to talk to each other and also to talk to potential investors. Yeah, I've been joined here by George A, who's the president of TLC Biopharmaceuticals. And well, thanks very much for stopping by, George.
No, thank you, Mike.
Now you guys are you're a formulation company, but in sort of like the nanomedicine area. So I mean, basically, what I know about nanomedicine is, we're talking about very, very small molecules. Could you sort of describe what it is that if I was a biotech or a pharmaceutical company, what you've got to offer?
So, Mike, that's a great question. I think one of the challenge for a lot of existing drug right now is really not the drug itself, but it's how do you efficiently deliver enough of drug go to the target site, and then that's where TLC come in. We use our nano-delivery system, really pack a high payload of a drug to targeting deliver to the site. In the case of cancer, basically we can do up to 10,000 small molecule on one nanoparticle, which is about 80 to 100 nanometer, and deliver to the tumor sites and release it over there. One of the things is reduce the toxicity during the process, because as you know, a lot of drugs have high toxicity. It damages a lot of normal cells. But by putting into our nanoparticle, it's being protected from the normal cell and efficiently delivered to the site.
So this nanoparticle, this is a proprietary molecule that you guys have developed?
Yes, it is a proprietary technology. We have over 70 patents worldwide. Basically, it is. I mean, imagine it. As you mentioned, nanoparticle is 80 to 100 nanometer. How do you put all the drug or enough drug in there to deliver? So that is our patent is mostly on the formulation part, but another thing is really on the scale of production in terms of how do you engineering this into these nanomedicine and deliver.
Right. So if I'm a biotech company or a pharmaceutical company and I've got a molecule, what I'll do is I also say, can you guys create a sort of a nanoparticle that hold this payload?
Right, Mike. I think that's one of the point as well. So
what happens is that because then that creates a completely new different entity. Yes. And you mentioned you had IP.
Yes.
So
our IP is really on the composition itself.
Right.
Okay. So it might be the active ingredient is done by XYZ Pharma, but we actually own the IP for the composition of this. So it's really two areas. One is really a lot of these compounds is not water soluble, so it's very hard to go through your bloodstream and things like that. So that's where our formulation can solve the water solubility problem. Second thing is sometimes it's too toxic. There's not enough therapeutic window. Basically, using our delivery system, we're able to widen that therapeutic window, so it allows a lot of combinational use in the future. So that's where TLC come in as an enabler.
And I mean, TLC is Taiwan Liposome company. So is your nanoparticles, are they liposome based?
Yes, they're liposome based, but I think liposome in general is kind of a general term, but it's more as a lipid base because I think our other technology on this sustained release is actually building layer and layer of this lipid formulation that can do sustained release, a little bit like onion-like. Where it starts to peel out layer and layer. In applications such as ophthalmology, as we know, for the treatment for these type of rare retinal disease, you need to inject intravitreally once every month. It's quite painful. And imagine a lifespan, 30, 40 years, I mean, you're looking about 100 times of these injection. We're able to reduce that, reduce the dose frequency. Instead of once every month, we can prolong it up to 4 to 6 months type of duration. And that's currently is in the clinical program right now, where we clinically have demonstrated that.
Yeah. Are there any limitations to what you can reformulate using one of your nanoparticles?
I got asked a lot about that question. So there is limitation. I mean, we wish we can do the A to Z and then just go through A to Z.
Yeah.
So in terms of, because it's systemized, so there's certain compound structure that we can put in to our system. There's certain compound structure, it just doesn't fit quite nicely with our system. And I think it's really depending on the characteristic of the compound itself and how it will fit in with our system.
Right. So, it's obviously it's an interesting sort of commercial concept. How many deals do you already have in place?
Okay, so globally, we have done deal with Teva, as well as Novartis Sandoz.
Yeah.
In the local type of Asia, we have done with Cyclone, Idong in Korea, as well as in Japan, Nihon Chozai, and things like that. So I think for us, it's really, we're more as a product provider, where our partner look into the market in terms of where is the market gap, where our technology and the product can fulfill that market gap. Is it either reduce the toxicity or reduce the dose frequency or to be more targeting? I think that's where we work closely with our partner because we're mostly, again, it's more drug development company.
So just to sort of get an understanding of, could you sort of describe one of these deal structures that you have, whether it's with Teva or Novartis?
So typically what they would go into is basically they will pay us, these upfront and milestones, and of course at the end, once the product launch, we will get loyalty for it. But before then, a lot of time is we will do a feasibility study where we can try to see if we can understand more from a preclinical level, where if this technology is a great fit into their system, or are we demonstrated to the target profile that we want to demonstrate it.
Okay, and what is the deliverable? I mean, do you sort of then hand them over the technology and they license the technology and they make it themselves, or do you make the molecules or the reformulations?
Mike, that's a great question. So because there's 3 different areas we kind of go in: oncology, non-oncology, and high potent. So these require 3 different type of facility for it. So, but a lot of these current CMO do not equip with our formulation type of equipment. So what we did is we basically build a turnkey solution where we can plug and play into these CMO. So in a way, we are also they kind of contract the manufacture process to us, but we contract out based on our design of it. Yes.
Okay.
So it's kind of more as a joint effort where we will help the drug development process all the way to the NDA, and then they will be pretty much doing the commercial partner.
Right. Yeah. Okay. George, well, thanks very much for stopping by and explaining that to us. Great. Thank you.